Hello everybody, let me go ahead and do some light here. Yeah, that works out good. Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick little video here today. Wanted to go over my Runick-Spright deck that I've been playing. I've been playing it for about 2-3 months now. And, really enjoy it. Little bit slow to play. I think my longest duel was 22 turns. So sometimes you can get win pretty good. But your main goal with this is to, all of your Runicks are quick play spells. And focuses around banishing your opponent's cards. Like this one searches out a card, banishes a card. This one you can target a special summon monster, banish 2 cards. They do have some of these are limited down to 2, like Runick Destruction. Target 1 spell or trap, and it banishes 4 cards from your opponent's deck. But running just 2 copies of it really does not hurt it in the least bit. We got Runick Freezing Curse, but we're gonna go ahead and go up here to the top here. So I am running 2 Maxis. I am running a Wind-Up Kitten. Wind-Up Kitten's really good because you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, return that to the hand, which can be pretty good, especially if they have a big boss monster that non-protected from card effects. You could just go ahead and bounce that off the field. Running 2 copies of Hyperia. This one's really good because every time he's normal summoned, you get to draw 1 card. I run 2 copies of those. 1 copy of Cap Shell, which is also draw power, but its effect works a little bit different. It's based off of if this card is tributed, you draw a card. If it's used as material for Fusion, Synchro, Link, you can draw a card. If it's detached from an XYZ, you get to draw a card. This one is also a graveyard effect, so you can get it. It can be ashed. They recently, I don't know how long ago, but they dropped Sprite Blue down to 2 copies, and they limited Sprite Jet to 2 copies, which I think makes it a little bit more consistent. Very rarely do I ever use more than 2 blue, but blue's really good because when it's special summoned, it searches out another sprite out of your deck. Running 2 copies of Jet, which is really good. When he's special summoned, you get your Sprite Smashers, which is removal from the field. You could banish something off of it. You're not going to be using these first 2 effects, but banish 1 level 2 monster. It pretty good. But running 2 copies of Sprite Pixis, which I am considering putting another copy in here just because I can. Don't really use this a whole lot. This is really good if it's in your hand. If your opponent targets any of your sprite, you can discard it from your hand. And the monster gains attack and defense equal to the opponent's monster. So it only lasts for this turn, but it's really good. I'm running 3 copies of Sprite Red, which is card effect removal off the field. And I am running 3 copies of Sprite Carrot, which I always get these 2 confused because this one should be Carrot and this one should be Red. But Red is basically the same thing as Carrot, but it counters spells and traps, which can be really good. I've had a couple of wins, just my opponent is completely bailed after getting either one of these 2 effects off. I've got 2 Lava Golem. You could probably drop it down to 1. I don't see it too often, but it does serve as free pitch fodder from your hand for any additional of your Runick cards, because your Runicks have 2 effects. They have the banish effect, and then they all have the special summon effect. So that's the only way to get your Runick fusions on the field. So they all have similar effects, but we'll get to them here in a minute. With my deck, I like to run a copy of Boogie Trap. You discard 2 cards from your hand, target 1 trap in your graveyard, and you set that. It can be activated this turn, and you can only use 1 per turn. Now, the reason why I run this is because this card pairs up beautifully with Jar of Avarice. Just target 5 cards in your graveyard, so it's not exclusive to monsters, except this card. So if you have another copy of this in the graveyard, you can't target this. But you shuffle all 5 into your deck, then you draw 1 card. What's really nice is because your XYZ material and your links are not really too powerful. I'm considering putting another Phoenix in here and another Unicorn, just because I don't use Dark Charmer very often, if very rarely. Zeus, I have Zeus in here, but I don't think I've ever used this. It's nice to have, but like I said, I've never actually really used this. But you know, if you got your Maxis in the graveyard, if you've got any of your extra deck, okay, because your Nightmare Phoenix, you get one-time use, so you could pitch this for link material for like Underworld Goddess, and your Jar of Avarice, you can target that, shuffle it back into your deck, and you know, even if you target all 5 extra decks, you still get a draw off your deck with this. And Boogie Trap targets this, allows you to use Jar of Avarice again. You know, so it can combo pretty damn well. One of the things I've learned doing this little combo is Jar of Avarice, you always want to target your Boogie Trap. You want to make sure this gets back into your deck, because, you know, yeah, you got to discard 2 cards, but it gives you Jar of Avarice, you can target 5. So if you've got 3 cards in your graveyard, just pitch 2 in a pitch 2, and you're gonna shuffle them back into your deck. It's really good. Really good for recycling a lot, if everything in your deck. One of the combos, you can Lava Golem onto your opponent's side of the field, and then immediately activate Flashing Fire. So you target 1 special summon monster, destroy it, and then banish 2 cards. So you're removing their field and can immediately get rid of Lava Golem. And I'll put the link in the description later for a couple of my live streams I did on Twitch the other day. But I did have like 2 or 3 duels in one of my live streams where I got this combo off. So I will link that down there for you guys to check that out. I'll check it out, put a timestamp, so you guys can just skip right to that, or I might edit that into another video just itself. But we got us 2 copies of Runic Fountain, which is your field spell. This right here is your heart and soul of the deck. You got your sprites, which you can do a lot with your sprites, but they synergize very well with the Runics. Runic Fountain allows you every turn, if you use 1 of each of your Runics spells, you can immediately, or you know, when it prompts you to, you can activate Runic Fountain, select up to 3, shuffle them into your deck, and then draw 3 more cards. So I've had situations where I've used Runic Tip to search out Flashing Fire, you know, use Flashing Fire, Freezing Curse, and then you activate your Runic Fountain, shuffle those back into your deck, and I've had times where I've drawn Golden Droplet, allows you to force your opponent to draw 1 card and banishes 4. So I've had situations where my opponent has had nothing in their hand. You know, you force them to draw a card, and then you can immediately go into Runic Dispelling, which if you target, you know, if your opponent adds 1 card from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase, discard 1 card, banish 2 from their deck. We got Runic Freezing Curse, which targets effect monsters, negates their effects, banishes 3 cards. So they all banish different amounts. Like Runic Destruction targets spells and traps, but banishes 4 cards. I like to run 2 copies of Smiting Storm. because Smiting Storm, you can use this if your opponent has 5 cards on the graveyard, let's say, and they got 3 cards in their deck. You know, so some of these other ones you might not be able to deck them out with it, but with this one you could banish up to the number of cards they control. So if they have 5 cards on the field, they got 3 in their deck, you know, just banish 3 of them, pass your turn, you win automatically. Go to Droplet, we went over that. That allows you to, forces them to draw a card. Runick Dispelling. We did not cover Runick Slumber. This one allows you to target one face-up monster on the field. The next time it would be destroyed by card or battle, it is not destroyed. I kind of lost my place there for a sec. It also banishes 3 off the top of your opponent's deck. Then we go into our Sprite Smashers. I'm running 2 copies of this. I might throw in a third, but I've only ever used 2. Plus, with Jar of Avarice, you can just target 1 and put it back in your deck. And I am also running Trickstar Reincarnation. It's kind of a meme. It doesn't serve a whole lot of purpose. I mean, it works well with this because you can banish your entire hand, then they draw the same amount. I've had, you know, because you only get 1 copy of it, so you're not going to be seeing it a whole lot. But I had one duel that, we came in, and, you know, I go first. I had, my blue, I had Jet, I already had a red, I had Runic Tip, you know, so I was able to combo pretty good. And, he maxed me. So, I also had my Trickstar Reincarnation sitting in my hand. So when he hit that, you know, when he hit Max C, okay, you know, now a lot of times when I see Max C, I try to play very carefully, especially depending on what I'm playing. You know, I'm not the best at the game, you know, it's part of the reason why I play on here, because I actually do better playing on here than in real life. But, I lost my train of thought there. But anyway, when I see Max C, I try to play a little bit more defensively. But you know, I got lucky on my first turn. I had Trickstar Reincarnation, and he dropped a Max C right off of my first Runic special summon, and you know, immediately my goal was to put as many cards in his hand as I physically could. And I linked and comboed into stuff that I probably had no business to at the time. You know, I went ahead and made my Phoenix. I think I ended up making both Elf. You know, so as I did pretty good on it, and I ended up with 22 cards. I think I ended up in his hand. I don't remember, but I hit him for a shit ton of his deck, and then I followed up with a lot of the Runic cards, and it steamrolled really fast. For our extra deck, we have Runic Wings, which is, you know, 2 Runic monsters, but, I mean, you don't have any Runic monsters, they're all from your spells. This one is a little bit of a tricky one to use, because you have to discard a card, but it search out your Runic Fountain, which is your heart. So your combo is, you got a Runic card in your hand. The first thing you want to do is go into Runic Wings. If you don't have your field spell, you're going to use Runic Wings to search out your field spell. If you have something you can safely discard, you can go ahead and see about trying to bait your opponent into an Ash on your Runic Wings. If they do anything to destroy your Runic Wings, it also has a graveyard effect. If it would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card. Okay, yeah, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, return this card to the extra deck. So even though you're running 2 copies, you can, as long as it's not discarded from Gigantic Sprite, it recycles itself. So even sitting at 0 attack and defense, it works out alright. I run 1 copy of Minimum the Runic Wings. I don't think I've ever used this. I don't think I need to, because I am not running Runic Allure. which every time a quick play card activates, banish one card off the opponent's deck. I think, you know what, I am going to go ahead and toss one of those in here just to play with a little bit. But this, if it's sitting in your graveyard, this will allow you to set it onto your field, I believe. No, it adds one continuous, yeah, so you could use Runick-Allure to search out, I said that backwards, but you search out for your Runick-Allure. But then we have Runick Fangs, which is when an attack is declared involving this card. In the extra monster zone, you can banish the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. And then neither player takes battle damage from attacks involving this card. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one Runick quick play spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So, I mean, even if they do get rid of it, you know, you've got plenty to get from. I completely forgot about this. We got one copy of Called by the Grave. Running one Soul Reaper. He really used him a couple of times. It's really good because you can banish one material on the target one monster your opponent controls, banish it. But when he's destroyed or removed from the field, your opponent gets those cards back. So I don't really use this too often. Running 2 copies of Runick-Spright. From what I understand, if with Runick-Spright's effect, your opponent can't Nibiru you. I'm not entirely sure. I've had probably 100 duels I've done with this deck. I've only ever had one person Nibiru me, and I went ahead with my Runick, my Sprite Red, and countered that just because, honestly, I could. I had other stuff, so countering his Nibiru was no issue to me. We got our 1 copy of Zeus, 1 copy of Phoenix, 1 copy of IP Masquerine. We are running the, can't pronounce that first name, but Dark Charmer. He is, from what I understand, you're supposed to be able to link him to bring back your cap shell, and then that allows you to get another draw if you link off your cap shell again. But, I've never used this. We got Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf is one of your major components you want for your Sprite engine, because it allows you to special summon a monster out of your graveyard. You can use it for IP Masquerine. You can use it for Sprite. You cannot use it for the Runicks, but all of your sprites, everything level 2, which this deck is entirely of, except the Lava Golems. So everything in your deck can be special summoned back to the field. So, everything, when I play this, everything is in defense. I'm not battling through because your Runicks all have the main effect that if you use one of these, you you skip the next battle phase. So if you're not playing, this, it's not an issue. Anybody that does play this, it is very important that you do go into your battle phase, unless because you're not getting the main phase 2. So you're gonna set up in one turn, go into your battle phase, you skip your battle phase, and then you move on to setting up to counter your opponent for stuff on their turn. We got 2 copies of Elf, we got 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, and we are running 1 copy of Underworld Goddess. I'm sure a lot of people know what Underworld Goddess does. It's actually really good in my opinion. It takes 4 effect monsters, so that can be a little painful if you got your carrot or red on the field that you're trying to save for counter and stuff. So you got to play it a little bit smart. But Underworld Goddess, you could use a card from your opponent's side. And with IP Masquerine, you can special summon this out on your opponent's turn. So if they drop something like Cyber Dragon Infinity, just get rid of that bitch, and even if you gotta go down card advantage to make it happen. Sometimes it's best to just get really aggressive and try to shut them down before they can do anything. But, that's it for now. I know I kind of rambled on a little bit. This was the first time doing a video like this. I just got myself a gaming computer, built a couple months ago. I finally learned how to do my live stream and stuff. So, now I'm going to start working on doing videos for YouTube. Possibly I might be doing shorts, but I hope to start posting at least several times a week. Right now, over on my Twitch channel, I am doing Subnautica playthrough. I'm doing that every day, starting at... I'm trying to get up at 7 o'clock, but it's been more around 8 or 9, till about 3 or 4. And then after that, I've been hopping on for some couple hours on Yu-Gi-Oh! But I might, tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a live stream over on Twitch. I will go ahead and add my link to that down there. But we're gonna go ahead and be farming this event. I haven't done it yet, and I need to. Last night I hopped on for a little bit. I have not played my photons in forever, so I don't know what all people are running in the event. In this event, what to expect. But I'll be playing on that tomorrow. Don't know how long, but yeah, we're gonna be playing our photons tomorrow, and seeing how we do here in the event. So thank you for joining me. If there's any advice or tips you can give me, is more than welcome. Just try to be nice about it. Like I said, I know I probably sound like shit. I have really bad sinus issues, and of course, smoking, that does not help the situation at all. But I'm working on it. I do have just a regular little webcam right now. I would like to pick myself up a microphone, but with the more of these I start doing, the better I'll get, especially with speaking. So please don't be too critical, and I hope you enjoy the content. I try to stay pretty laid back. I know I do tend to ramble on a little bit, but I'm very chill, very laid back. So I just hope to see you again. Thank you.